Adults, do you know we throw bigger tantrums than our children, and then we wonder why our children haven't learned how to manage their emotions? Think about it. We tell our children, calm down, stop shouting, and they are watching us throw these tantrums by how we're telling them. The truth is, emotional regulation starts with us. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about teaching ourselves, emotional regulations in 3 practical steps so you can respond to your children with more calm, consistency, and intention. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're meeting me for the first time, hello and welcome. My name is Ayanate Njoku. I'm a certified family life, parent, preteen, and teen coach. I help parents become intentional in their parenting journey, sharing daily tips from my expertise, my experience, books I've authored, coaching sessions for you as a parent and your preteens and your teens, helping them build the social skills they need to function in today's world. So do tell me where you're joining me from, and don't forget to like, drop a comment, share and subscribe if you haven't. You can find me on every other platform at Parenting United. Let's get right into the video. Do you yell at your kids and then immediately regret it? Do you blow up, lose your patience, raise your voice, and afterward think, why did I react like that? Well, here's something we don't talk about enough. Sometimes adults have temper tantrums too, and then we wonder why our children haven't learned how to manage their emotions. The truth is, emotional regulation starts with us, you and me. So today I'm going to be sharing 3 practical steps to help teach yourself emotional regulation as a parent. Let's get right into it. The first one is become aware of your triggers. The first step is self-awareness. You have to notice what triggers you. Maybe it's your child talking back for preteens and teens. Maybe it's your child rolling their eyes. For toddlers, school children, maybe refusing to listen. Maybe it's the screaming, the crying, the sibling fight. Many things, can happen. And then you suddenly start thinking, I can't deal with this. That's a cue for you. Instead of immediately reacting, pause and say to yourself, I know that it's really hard. That it's easier said than done. This is triggering me, That awareness is very powerful, because sometimes the behavior isn't just about what's happening in the moment. It can connect to how we were raised. Many of us grew up hearing things like, stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about, suck it up, or go to your room, those kind of things. We heard it a lot when we're growing up. We weren't necessarily taught how to understand our emotions. We're often taught to suppress it. So now that we have an opportunity to learn something new and different, and to teach our children something new and different, knowing your trigger is the first step. Okay? The second step is calm yourself, down before you respond. I always say that emotions are not emergencies. So your child is crying. It's okay for them to cry. Once you've recognized what has triggered you, the next question is, what do I need to do to calm myself down? And this is the work we do outside of the situation, not in that situation. Because you cannot teach emotional regulation while you're completely dysregulated yourself. And from how we even talk to our children when they're dysregulated, we're already throwing tantrums, like I said. For me, I had to figure out what actually helped me calm down. And from coaching many parents, I've given them things that they can use. So closing your eyes, taking deep breaths, stepping away from the moment when, it's safe to do so. The important thing is finding what works for you. What works for you might not work for me. And here's a little crazy game that I do. The crazier they get, the calmer I get. So when your child's emotion goes up, mine don't have to go up with them. So I'm aware of that. I can remind myself, I'm the adult here. I've had 8 years of practice. I'm the adult here. I have considerable more time to practice. I tell myself these things. And so it's my responsibility to manage what emotional reaction looks like. That doesn't mean I'm never going to get frustrated. Don't put yourself in that box. It means I'm learning how to pause before I react. And remember, your capacity to regulate, can be affected by your own basic needs too. So if you're exhausted, if you're just coming back from work, if you're angry, this doesn't make you a bad parent. Let me come closer. This doesn't make you a bad parent. So learning your warning signs and learning what helps, you return to calm is very important. And then the third one is respond with clear, consistent boundaries. Now that you are aware, you've calmed yourself down, what next? Your response. And this is where I want to clear up something about gentle parenting. Gentle parenting doesn't mean letting your kids walk all over you, especially if you're raising preteens and teenagers. It doesn't mean there are no consequences. And I'm going to talk about that, on my Instagram, make post about that. You can be calm and firm. You can say, you are allowed to be angry, you are not allowed to hit. You're allowed to be frustrated, you cannot speak to me disrespectfully. When you're calm, we can have this conversation. I understand you're upset, but I'll not allow you to hurt your brother. These are boundaries. Clear, calm, consistent, and the way you're saying them is also mirroring to your child how you want them to, respond. And sometimes your child will still be upset. That's okay. Your job isn't always to make the emotions disappear. Your job is to help them learn what to do with those emotions. And that's something we have to practice over and over and over and over again. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you have learned something new, but let's just quickly do a recap. So the first step is become aware of your triggers. The second step is calm yourself down before you respond. And then the third step is respond with clear and consistent boundaries. You don't have to be perfect. You're going to get triggered sometimes. Practice makes progress, not perfection. You're going to lose your patience. What matters is that you're willing to notice it, repair it, and learn from it, and keep practicing. We are reparenting ourselves. We are breaking the circle because we don't want to pass trauma to our children. We can learn the emotional skills that we weren't taught. So you need to be telling yourself these things. I can learn the emotional skills that I was not taught. I can model something different for my children, because sometimes the best way to teach our children emotional regulations is to start by teaching ourselves. Like this video, share. If you've learned something new, tell me about it. Or if you're going to put it to practice, tell me about it. And I'm going to see you in my next video. Cheers.